So then he tells his disciples, let's go. So he tells the disciples, well, let's go on and go. You know, let's go to Judea. So verse 8, the disciples said to him, Rabbi, lately the Jews sought to stone you, and are you going there again? So remember, last time he was in Jerusalem, there was this uproar going on. And remember from the last chapter that, you know, at the courtyard of the temple, they surrounded him, they wanted to stone him, they tried everywhere, but remember, Jesus said, it's not my time yet, you can't touch me really, and he just kind of pulled back and went back to retreat, basically, did his thing, and now he's coming back. But when he's coming back, his disciples are saying, wait a minute, they were going to kill you last time we were there. You want to go back there again? He says, yeah, it's okay, don't worry. Jesus answered, are there not 12 hours in the day? If anyone walks in the day, he does not stumble, because he sees the light of this world. But if one walks in the night, he stumbles, because the light is not in him. These things he said, and after that he said to them, our friend Lazarus sleeps, but I go that I may wake him up. Then, this is when Jesus tries to tell them that the day has 12 hours of light and 12 hours of darkness. But he's speaking about the spiritual world again. But every time he speaks about the spiritual world, as we understand so far, they really don't get it. So he has to go over it a few more times for them to really comprehend what he's trying to tell them. He says, when you are walking in the light in the daytime, nothing is going to happen to you. In the darkness where the evil lies, in the darkness where the sin lives, in the darkness. Now he's not talking necessarily about the nighttime, but he's just saying that where that is happening is where the trouble is. But here we are walking in the light. You are with me. That's basically what he's trying to tell his disciples. Don't worry. You're walking with the light. Remember, he is the light of the world. He came to illuminate the world. So he is here. He's telling disciples, don't worry. Relax. We're going to go. And he says, as long as that we have me with you, it's God's timing. That's what we are doing. So we are going to go because this is God's timing. This is our plan. This is the plan. This is the timing that God had planned. And he says, my friend is sleeping. We have to go wake him up. So now his friends are going, or his disciples and everybody. Your friend is sleeping? Really? Okay. So let's verse 12. Then his disciples said, Lord, if he sleeps, he will get well. However, Jesus spoke of his death, but they thought that he was speaking about taking rest in sleep. So, just because he said he's sleeping, let's go wake him up, automatically they assume that, well, if he's sleeping, he's going to get well. Why do we have to take a chance and go there? Because if we go, there's a chance that they are going to kill you, and maybe we're going to die with you too, so it's kind of dangerous. Don't you think we should not go? Hey, Rabbi, really? Can we really don't have to go? If he's just sleeping, he's going to get well. But Jesus was talking about that his friend is actually dead. He already knows. And he said, we have to go wake him up. Verse 14. Then Jesus said to them plainly, Lazarus is dead. And I'm glad for your sakes that I was not there, that you may believe. Nevertheless, let us go to him. Now he tells them, okay, I realize that you are still confused and not understanding, because somehow you've been with me all these almost 2.5, 3 years now. You're walking, you don't understand what I say. It's almost like my disciples here. And he says, let's go, because now, for your sake, okay, for your sake, that Lazarus is dead. We waited extra 2 days. There was a reason for it. He wanted to make sure that Lazarus was dead and buried. So he says, so you, with your own eyes, finally will see and understand and believe and penetrate in your brains and everywhere around you, so you have something so strong that you would write in the future and in the New Testament, in the Bible, that you will be able to preach to the world like we are doing tonight. Verse 15. Actually 16. Then Thomas, who was called the twin, said to his fellow disciples, let us also go, that we may die with him. What Thomas is saying here is because, as what I said earlier, they knew if they go, they're in danger. They are wanted. Basically, there's like posters everywhere, like Wild Wild West. There's Jesus and his disciples, wanted, dead or alive. There's a prize for them.
They're armed and dangerous.
They're armed and dangerous. They're causing this havoc in Jerusalem. It's going to be this uproar. Rome is going to come and take over, and it's going to, put all the Pharisees out of business. This is the big problem going on over there. This is what's happening. It's exactly what is basically the problem is. The religious leaders are worried that they're going to lose everything that they have. And why? Because there's this man called Jesus is making all this havoc, and they can't deal with it. So they want him out of the picture. But his disciples, they said, well, we're ready to die with you. So let's go so we can die with you. So this is one of the things that I was saying earlier, that this particular chapter has so much more than what we see. There's so much more faith involved in here. There's so much more that his disciples saying, you know what? We're going to go. I know we're going to die, but we're ready to die for you. Are we ready, brothers and sisters, to die for Jesus today?
Yeah.
Amen. We are.
Are you ready, Bill?
Are you ready, Bill? Brother Bill?
Yeah.
Amen.
He wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah, I know. He was in Galilee. He's coming back. Verse 17. So when Jesus came, he found that he had already been in the tomb for 4 days. Now Bethany was near Jerusalem, about 2 miles away, and many of the Jews had joined the women around Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. So there was this big confusion.